I want to run through the corner post for right now, or what we call the new ADU or command center display. You've got several different items here, and we're going to go over page 1 and page 2. That's your home page. On page 1, as you'll notice, you have 1 out of 2 right here. You've got your average moisture and your average yield. If you have a yield monitor, will be here. You've got all your combine settings and your crop, so it tells you that's your cylinder speed, your concave setting, your fan speed, your chaffer setting, and your sieve setting. In the bottom left-hand corner, you have engine and separator hours, you have your clock, and then you have your recording on-off. Page 2, simply hit this button above the home, takes you to page 2, and there are several configurable settings in here. These are currently set to concave, acres, fan, sieve, header speed, and cylinder speed, and you can simply change those as you see fit. The second set of pages in the command center is the crop pages, and that there's going to be a little ear of corn here. So you hit the button above the ear of corn, and it'll take you to that. It's going to give you your field average for your yield and moisture. It also gives you the maximum and the minimum, so it tells you what your maximum yield was at any point in the field and your maximum moisture at any point in the field. It shows your header width, and it also allows you to select between wet and dry. You turn the dial and get highlighted what you want to change. Change it from wet to dry. Next, you go to page 2. Here's your performance monitor. You've got gallons per acre, acres per hour, gallons per hour, bushels per hour. You've got how many feet you've traveled, and your actual pounds and moisture. The way you reset those, you turn the dial and you highlight the one you want to reset, and you hit the check mark, and that will go ahead and zero out whichever one you want to zero out. Page 3, under the crop, is your farm and field and crop, and these are just like a totals page. You go in here and you have your farm and field selected and your crop selected, and it will give you the totals that you've had within that field. The second page, go down to your page button, hit the check mark, and again it will allow you, it goes to your moisture, your area, harvest time, productivity, other performance monitor functions. If you'd like to zero those out, clear the totals, highlight the zero, hit your check mark, and it will zero them out. Page 4 is actually for the entire crop. The last page was specific to a given field. This is over the entire corn crop. So every field that you've selected corn as your crop, this will show you the totals from that. Again, bushels, wet and dry. Go to page 2, and you have your moisture, your area, harvest time, things of that nature. Again, if you want to zero, go to your zero, hit your check mark, and that'll zero it out. And that's going to cover it for the crop button on the command center. Now we're going to go over the combine settings portion of the command center. That's going to be under the combine icon. Press the button above the combine icon to take you to that. This is page 1. And this is your touch set setting. And you can go down here, and this shows you what the default for dry corn is, and these are all your default settings. If you want to do something different, you can highlight that, set your check mark. You can go to wet corn, or you can go to clean out, or you can add your own if you wish. Select the one you wish, bring it up here. Now to get it to take, you'll need to have the separator engaged. You'll need to have the combine at high idle. And then you'll select this auto button, and when you hit the check mark with the auto button highlighted, the combine will set it to all these settings that are listed here. Page 2 is where you select your crop. So right now we're in corn. Our seat size is for our loss monitor, and you can see it's about 3/4 of the way across, and that's going to generally be where you want to have it set for corn and beans. Here's where we select our farm. Now if you want the recording to work for your yield monitor, if you don't have mapping, you will have to put a farm in here. So you'll highlight that, you'll go to new, and you'll highlight the letters, and you can put in whatever name number that you want to. For right now, I'm just going to use 0 as an example. Once I get the name entered, I want to scroll down, and I want to hit the enter button. This is the backspace key, this is the clear key. So I hit the enter button. I now have a farm. So I'll come down and now I have to put in a field. So I'll go to new again. Again, clear, backspace, and then this is enter. So I'm going to go down, I'm going to put farm 0, field 0. I scroll back to my enter button. I hit the check mark. Now I have a farm and a field. Now my recording will work. Page 3. Here's where I want to set my we currently have a platform on here, and it'll be the same for corn head. You'll set your minimum reel speed in RPMs, your width, and your width change. The width change is basically if you're going through the field and you want to have a one button touch to change the header width. This will do it in 3.3 feet increments. My record stop height, the way I set that is I raise the head to a portion that will be above where I'm going to be harvesting, but will be below where I'll raise it on the end. I highlight the enter button, I hit the check mark, and then that will set my record stop height. Got one more page under the combine settings, and these are more setup things. Again, this is my sample rate in times per minute. So it'll take a moisture sample 4 times a minute. If I want to change that, I do that right there. My moisture alarm, it currently is off. And what that moisture alarm is if the moisture gets, you set it at 20%, and if the moisture gets above 20%, it will warn you of that. This is my minimum and maximum moisture. My moisture correction, let's say I had the moisture correction, if the combine was showing it was testing 17 and the elevator said it was actually 18, I'd want to put a 1.0 moisture correction in here. We'll cover more of that in the yield monitor section later. And my yield is in bushels. And that's going to take care of the combine button on the command center. Now we want to cover the diagnostics page on the command center. That's going to be the button over here with the book and the wrench. If you have a code, you'll have a warning and it'll beep at you. And if you want to go look and see what that code is actually, what's actually trying to tell you, you can press the button above the book and the wrench right here, and it'll bring up active alarms. And listed below here, currently it says none, which means there's no codes in the combine or nothing active. If you had a code, it would say right here what the code would be and then give a brief description of what that code might be. Page 2. This is where we do our calibrations, and we'll go through those here under the calibration section of the video. Also under this is where I can clear my service hours. So if I want to clear out my service hours, it's been 100 hours and it's telling me, hey, or it's been 50 hours, wherever I set that, go ahead and hit the check mark on that, and it says no initial conditions required. So if it was saying it was at my 100-hour service, I could actually go ahead and reset those right now. Page 3, under the diagnostic button, is not going to be something you're going to be working with too much. If you call in for service or have an issue with your machine, we might ask you to go in here and check a few things. But page 3 and 4 are mainly for the dealer technician coming out to check out your combine and get things back up and running. But that's going to pretty much cover it for the diagnostic button. Here's an example. If you do happen to get a code with the machine, you'll get a full page warning giving you an idea of what might actually be the problem. This happens to be the chopper position system problem. We've actually got the sensor unhooked just to give an example. Some information that the technician or service manager might ask you over the phone is the controller right now is the LC2 and it's 235, and then it has the code over here. So that might be some information that you'll want to relay to the technician or the service manager if you call in and ask for help.